Ladies and gentlemen, with the alpha open once more, we have to test out a bunch of new updates. And this time, it's for Kuudra. My name is Derailious, welcome back to Skyblock News, and let's launch right into it. Starting off here today, we have the Kuudra shop, or the Crimson Essence shop here. And how this essentially works, it's like every other shop. You get a bunch of bonuses for fighting Kuudra, it works pretty nicely, and the bonuses are as follows. Your fishing rods pull supplies and fuel cells 10% further during the Kuudra boss fight. There's a 2% chance to double the speed of repairing L's ballista for 5 seconds during the Kuudra boss fight. You receive extra mycelium and red sand drops. You get bonus combat XP while on the Crimson Isle. You get an increased chance to find vanquishers on the Crimson Isle. You deal bonus damage to Kuudra's minions, and you start the fight with a certain amount of tokens. All of these are excellent. I really like the combat XP one. It's going to make farming blazes a lot easier and make the process for summoning them a little bit faster, and I also love the Vanquisher one. This is going to be great for newer players who aren't necessarily super involved in the Crimson Isle, but do have the Crimson Essence or money to spend on Crimson Essence and get some bonus Vanquisher chances. Aside from the obvious inclusion of the 5th tier of the Kuudra boss fight, there's also a Kuudra Party Finder. It works pretty similarly to the normal Catacombs Party Finder, except it asks for combat level instead of Catacombs level. It makes a lot of sense. I think it's, a good system. Something like this was needed for Kuudra, and I think this works pretty great. On top of this, there is now also a Kuudra collection, as you can see in Boss Collection. This makes sense, it acts pretty much as any other boss, and the collections are as follows. For level 1, which is just 10 Kuudra completions, you get a Kuudra pet, 400 Crimson Essence, Kuudra Teeth, and Skyblock XP. Then you get an uncommon pet, 1000 Crimson Essence, 2 Kuudra Teeth once again, and 15 Skyblock XP for 12 completions. For 250 completions, you get a rare pet, 2500 Crimson Essence, 4 Teeth, and 20 XP. And then for 1000, you get the epic pet, 10,000 Kuudra, or Crimson Essence rather, 8 Kuudra Teeth, and 25 Skyblock XP. To max out the pet, you need to get 2.5k total runs, and you get 20,000 Crimson Essence with that, and also some more teeth. Pretty cool stuff overall. I do think that this one's going to be changed to 50 or 100 completions. I think going from 10 to 12 doesn't really make sense when it goes from 12 to 250. This is really cool though, really nice to see. And I think how this works is that you can still get the Kuudra pets in the boss. It's not just going to be from here. So there is now 2 avenues to get these pets, which, makes a lot of sense. And hey, it's some more Crimson Essence, and who doesn't love Crimson Essence? On top of everything already listed, there are another few changes that I want to go over, starting off with the Wither Cloak sword. As you can see, the Creeper Veil perk ability has been changed a little bit. As you can see, it spawns a protective veil that grants you immunity from damage for 10 seconds. It consumes 20% of your max mana every time you block a hit. You cannot attack while the barrier is up. While before you could just, sit around and just spam the thing all you wanted, as you can see, it now has a cooldown every time you deactivate it. And it's listed on the weapon that if you right click while active, you will deactivate it, and the cooldown, which is 20 seconds, will be halved on deactivation. Basically, you can no longer spam this thing. That's kind of sad in my opinion. It was really useful in a lot of pieces of content because of it, and this just feels like a pretty major nerf. I'm hoping that they decide to buff some other items or maybe improve some other parts of the game, maybe add in a few more items, add in a few more ways to heal, and maybe that will improve things, but this does hurt a lot of players, and I really hope that they add some other options for people. On top of this, in a more minor change, we have the fact that Vitality is now, Vitality. It used to be called Mending. It gave Vitality. There's another perk in the game already called Mending. I don't know why they were called Mending if there's already a stat called Mending, but this one gave Vitality. Does that make sense? It's called Vitality now. It gives Vitality. Everything makes sense. If you want a perk that gives you Mending, call it Mending. Don't call it Vitality or Mending if it doesn't already do what it's said to do. You know what? This is too confusing. Anyway, Vitality is Vitality now. Does that make sense? Cool. Now, in terms of specific stuff about the Infernal Kuudra boss, I don't really have too much here, although I will say that some people have said that it has a limited amount of lives, so you can't just infinitely respawn, which would make sense to me at least, and there's also an enemy involved called the Chaos Mite. I don't really have too much else to say on this though, as I wasn't able to play it myself, and the alpha seems to be shutting down soon, and let's be honest, I'm level 184. I'm not doing Infernal Kuudra tonight. Let's be real here, boys. Obviously, with the release of Kuudra Tier 5, we also get access to the new attributes, which there are 4 of. 3 of them are horrible. Warrior, Deadeye, Fortitude, and Magic Find are the 4, and the first 3 are completely garbage. I'm gonna be honest, Warrior and Deadeye could be really good if you could apply it on more things. I would really love to see a process by which we could make an item able to be Kuudrafied, attributed, something of that nature would be really cool to see. Make it cost like a certain amount of Kuudra teeth, I don't really care. But something like that would be really awesome. The Fortitude perk is garbage. It's garbage on anything. It gives you 5 health and 5 defense. That's it. That's all it does. If it was something more reasonable, like 20 or 30 per armor piece and equipment, I could see that getting some use, maybe on some specific tank build that like 2 people use. But 5 each, that's like 2 hot potato books. Come on, let's be real here. That's completely garbage. The Magic Find one's cool, I'm gonna be honest. And considering you get 2 perks on, pretty much any armor piece or equipment piece, it's free Magic Find. I can see a lot of people using that. It's a reasonable level of Magic Find, up to 5 per piece. You have, a total of 8 slots there. It's a good amount of Magic Find, I'm going to be honest. It's going to be really, really cool to see people stacking that up and getting that to as high as it can potentially go. That about wraps up stuff about Kuudra Tier 5. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to get a ton of gameplay footage of Kuudra Tier 5 in here. I'm going to be honest, I'm not some sort of pro player. It's way out of my comfort zone, and I was also not around for the majority of today. And considering that they're only planning to keep the alpha up for a little bit, I got to get this video out to you. And I'm going to be honest, the boss might change on to release when it actually comes out on the main server, and somebody else who's actually a pro could do a much better guide than I could. Speaking of the news that I'm actually really comfortable with and really happy about, Party Finder is great, the new shop is excellent, I love the boss collection stuff. Not too much of a fan of the Wither Cloak changes, I feel like that could be tuned around a little bit. Feels like a pretty heavy nerf to Dungeon Lava in particular, while not really affecting too much else. At the end of the day though, my name is Derailious, thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new, and join my Discord down below for giveaways and updates. And look to the future, fellas, because I will see you then.